वह है जो आम व्यक्तियों को, समाज को और देश को एक दिशा दिखाए, राह दिखाए और सही राह पर चलने के लिए कहे। लेकिन सद्गुरु वो होता है जो समय से पहले देश को, दुनिया को चेताए कि क्या कुछ खराब हो सकता है, उसके लिए अभी से आपको तैयारी कर लेनी चाहिए। जी हाँ, हिंदुस्तान में इस वक्त दो तरह की रैली चल रही है। एक तो आपके चहेते चैनल CNBC आवाज़ पर स्टॉक मार्केट में, और दूसरी रैली जो देश भर में सबसे ज़्यादा पॉपुलर है, रैली फॉर रिवर। और इसी पर हम बातचीत करते हैं। हमारे साथ हैं इस वक्त सद्गुरु। नमस्कारम सद्गुरु। सबसे पहले तो ये बताएं, रैली फॉर रिवर, ये आइडिया आपके दिमाग में, दिल में कैसे आया और क्या ज़रूरत पड़ी इस आइडिया की?
Right from my very early childhood, I have always been very involved with mountains, forests and rivers. When I say involved, not seeing them as a resource, not seeing them as just natural beauty, but involved in a way where I experienced forests and rivers as life larger than myself. People like you and me come and go, but rivers flowed forever. Such rivers which we thought will flow forever, now many of them are not even touching the ocean. Kaveri is not touching the ocean for 3.5 months. Krishna is not touching the ocean for almost 6 to 8 months. Narmada is not touching the ocean. Like this is happening to most of our rivers. They're depleting very seriously. I've been watching this with some concern for last 25 years. But in the last 7-8 years, it's been very serious, very, very steep. So when I started noticing this, that is when I launched what is called as Project Green Hands, and we planted over 32 million trees in the last 16 to 18 years' time. Well, it has increased Tamil Nadu's green cover a little bit. Above all, we've changed the culture brought the culture of caring for the trees. But I find this is still not a solution. I can do something, you can do something, somebody else does something. All of it is good, but it's still not a solution unless we have a clear-cut policy as to how to treat our soil and rivers in this country. Till then there is no solution. So this rally is towards driving for that policy. In this, the challenge is to get the concurrence of the states, which fortunately we have got. Never before in the last 70 years have all the states concurred on a subject like this. For the first time, the states have come to a concurrence. The next step is, because the gestation period for seeing results of this policy will be very long, 20 to 25 years, in which 4 or 5 governments might have come and gone by simple democratic process. Because of that, it is important the people of India must stand up and clearly vote right now that if the government takes a long-term policy for the well-being of this nation and the future of our children, we are with the government. This is a statement we have to make. This is our moment in history where we have to show that we are a responsible citizenry. We are not looking for freebies. We are looking for nation's well-being. This is a statement we are making by making this simple missed call, because this is a way of expressing that the governments can feel comfortable in investing in the long-term well-being. They don't have to worry and do things all within 5 years. They have to think at least 25 to 50 years ahead. Only then national well-being will be taken care of.
सद्गुरु, जो रीजंस आपने दिए परफेक्ट हैं कि क्यों रिवर्स को प्रिजर्व करने की ज़रूरत है, लेकिन क्या ये इतना आसान काम है? और दूसरा ये कि इसका सॉल्यूशन क्या है, कैसे किया जाए?
आसान तो नहीं है. I am not saying it's easy. Because it's difficult, shall we not do it?
We should.
We should do it.
Definitely.
So, if we want to do it, we need an implementable and enforceable policy. You cannot leave it in the hands of voluntary organizations. You cannot leave it in the hands of individuals. Rivers must be treated as national treasure, not as individual property. That I do what I want, you do what you want, this is not the way to do it. We have to make sure that this is national treasure and it must be taken care of accordingly. Like if you want to drive on the street, there are rules. You have to drive on the left side of the street. If you start driving on the right side of the street, at least in 10 minutes somebody will pick you up and there will be a penalty for you. The same must happen. How you treat the rivers, it must be enforceable law. That's what we are looking at. Without making a policy and a law like this, leaving it in the hands of people doing what they feel like, we will not have rivers for a very long time. Is it easy? Is it difficult? It is complex. It is not simple. But it's doable. If we are committed to make this happen in the next 20 years or 25 years, it will happen. It is not something that if you may give a missed call, tomorrow river will come up. No, this is not an online river, this is a real river, okay? If we start working now in the next 15 to 25 years, we will definitely see the rise of river flows for sure.
So सदगुरु, आप क्या सोचते हैं, क्या ऐसा सॉल्यूशन होगा जो पब्लिक को भी एक्सेप्ट हो, सरकार भी सोचे कि ठीक है, चाहे वो सेंट्रल की सरकार हो चाहे स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स हो, उन सबको एक्सेप्ट करने वाला ऐसा क्या फॉर्मूला हो सकता है, आप क्या सोचते हैं?
Right now the policy is addressing all the stakeholders. When I say all the stakeholders, the first stakeholder is the river. River must benefit. The important thing is the river waters must rise. The next thing is all the life that river supports. That must benefit. That will anyway benefit if the waters rise. The next thing is the farmer must benefit. The next thing is the larger public of the nation should benefit. The next thing is the local administrations and the state and central administration should benefit through taxes and other means. So this is a policy which is considering the well-being of all the five stakeholders. Now, if all the five stakeholders are not taken care of, whether it is in the marketplace or in marriage, unless both the parties benefit, it is not sustainable. So this is essentially an economic plan with significant ecological impact.
मैं किसानों के एंगल से आपको पूछना चाहता हूँ, क्योंकि सबसे ज़्यादा रिवर फ्रंट के आसपास अगर एग्रीकल्चर करते हैं तो वही करते हैं, उन्हीं की ज़मीन है। इस वक्त हिंदुस्तान में अगर आपको एक हाईवे बनाना हो तो बड़ा मुश्किल काम है कि किसी से ज़मीन लेना, कोर्ट के स्टे ऑर्डर आ जाते हैं, तो फिर किसान आसानी से अपनी ज़मीन को देकर दूसरी जगह शिफ्ट होंगे या वहीं पर कुछ करने देंगे, ये कैसे होगा?
There is no need to shift anybody anywhere. 25% of the land through which the rivers flow in this country are still in the government hands. We are determined to turn that into forests, and that will happen for sure. The remaining 75% is in the farmers' hands. Out of that, 6 to 8% is delta lands. Leave the delta lands, they can be as they are. The rest of it, we want to shift the farmer from crop-based agriculture to tree-based agriculture. If we do this with the necessary inputs, scientific inputs and also infrastructure support of cold storages, value addition and everything, very easily you can multiply the farmer's income from anywhere between 3 to 8 times in 5 to 7 years' time. This is something we have demonstrated small scale. Now what we are looking at it is, every state we want to have a large scale demonstration. First create a very successful model which is large enough for people to see, and in Tamil Nadu we are in the process of setting up these things. So what we are already doing for organic farming is, every month we are bringing about 200 to 300 farmers from various places to just see the success. Once they see the success, then no teaching, no preaching is needed. They will go and do it themselves. Only thing is, you have to create the necessary infrastructure, especially if you go into perishable produce like fruits. There must be infrastructure of cold storage, value addition and various other things need to happen. So we want to set up a module, let's say 50-kilometer stretch, with all this and show them, see how it succeeds. Once the local farmers are earning 3 to 8 times more than the other farmers, you think you can stop the other farmers? Right now Andhra Pradesh is going for 50% of its land. 50% of its agricultural land it's converting into horticulture.
So indirectly सदगुरु आप ये कह रहे हैं कि हिंदुस्तान में बहुत इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी बढ़ने वाली है, हम स्टॉक मार्केट और बिजनेस चैनल हैं।
No, I'll tell you one thing. Stock market is not economic activity. Stock market is like a barometer for the economic activity.
Right, sir.
We should not mistake stock market to be economic activity by itself.
So ये इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी बढ़ती है तो आप ये कहेंगे कि हिंदुस्तान की ग्रोथ बढ़ने वाली है, वो भी आगे दिखेगा, राइट?
Yes, all this is good, but all this must happen, industry, business, everything must grow, there's no question. But 65% of India's population is in farming. And we are a 12-month cropping country, and we have a history of 8 to 12,000 years of farming experience. If we put all these things together, keep our soil and water healthy, we can feed the entire world. We are capable of doing that. I want to drive the country in that direction because that's the only way wealth will be large scale. Right now, wealth is all in Mumbai.
Sadhguru,
I'm not against it, but I'm saying it needs to spread. See, a nation has to be wealthy means every citizen must have the basics. Right now, one segment of the citizens are just going up towards the sky, another segment is sinking. This will not be healthy. After some time, it will lead to total disparity, and that is when violence begins. That is how the Maoist problems began. And right now it's being controlled, but at one point, almost a third of the country they were administering.
सदगुरु, इतनी बड़ी आप ये रैली कर रहे हैं, इतने हजारों किलोमीटर्स की यात्रा कर रहे हैं, रात रात भर आप ट्रैवल करते हैं, ये एनर्जी ये कहाँ से आती है आप में?
I've been telling you for a long time that you must start practicing yoga, you're not listening. It's time. We have the technology. In this country, we have the technology of how to engineer this one to its highest level of function. If you don't do this, this means you will function as a half a human being. What is the point of this? When I say half a human being, most people sleep for 8 hours a day. This means 1/3 of their life they're going to sleep, all right? Another 4 hours will go in eating, toilet, bath, this, that. So 50% of the life is gone. So this means it's a half a life.
Absolutely.
So unless any machine for that matter, only if it functions at minimum input and maximum output, you call that an efficient machine, isn't it? Is it not important that the human machine becomes like that? Human mechanism should be made in such a way, with minimum fuss it's able to do maximum activity. That is when this is an efficient human being. So for this, we have an entire science and technology in this country, originates from this country, called yoga. Yoga does not mean twisting and turning your body, there is a whole methodology, how to manage your mind, how to manage your body, your emotion, your energy, every cell in the body, how to keep it on. There is an entire system. As there is a science and technology for external well-being, there is an entire science and technology for inner well-being. If we don't make this a part of our lives, then we will live as half a life.
सदगुरु, मैंने कुछ प्रोग्राम्स आपके अटेंड किए, आपके कई वीडियोस भी मैंने देखे। मैं कई बार सोचता हूँ आखिर सदगुरु है क्या? क्या संत हैं, फिलोसोफर हैं? कई बार लगता हूँ कि बड़े सुपर ह्यूमन बीइंग हैं, बाइक्स चलाते हैं, प्लेन उड़ाते हैं। आप हैं क्या एक्चुअली?
I am just a full-fledged life. This is how life should be, full on, okay? So these things about riding a motorcycle or flying a helicopter, these are all things human beings can do.
Right.
It is just that most human beings have crippled themselves in such a way, if they do one thing, they can't do another thing. They're qualified for one thing, so they can't do anything else. This is not how a human being is supposed to live. A human being, if your consciousness is limitless, because if you go by your physical strength or if you go by your mental strength, it can only do that much. There's another dimension within us, which in English language we are calling it consciousness. In our traditional terms, we call this our chitta. If you touch your chitta, you become a boundless intelligence and a boundless possibility. There is nothing that is beyond you. So this is not about becoming superhuman. This is about understanding being human itself is super.
सदगुरु, जब हम स्टॉक मार्केट का कवरेज करते हैं, ट्रेडर्स इन्वेस्टर से मिलते हैं, तो दो चीज़ें हैं जो स्टॉक मार्केट को ड्राइव करती है, ग्रीड और फियर। जब मार्केट्स बुलिश होते हैं, ग्रीड, लालच आता है कि हम भी बहुत पैसा कमा लें, और जैसे ही खराब होते हैं, फियर, वो डर होता है कि बड़ा नुकसान हो जाएगा। योगा के जरिए आप ये बताएं कि किस तरह से ये दो इमोशंस कंट्रोल में किए जा सकते हैं।
See, you cannot control a particular emotion or a particular thought. If I tell you right now, don't think of monkeys, please don't think about monkeys.
I started thinking about that.
So can you do it like that? If you say, I should not be afraid, you will only be afraid. Entire human experience is caused from within, isn't it? Yes? What is happening with you is just your psychological drama. If you are doing a drama, at least you must be the director. So, your body, this human mechanism, is the greatest chemical factory on the planet. It is just that you are a lousy CEO, that's all. So we have to train the CEO to be able to manage this chemical factory properly. If you manage it properly, this chemical factory will always be blissful.
वही सीखना है और वही समझना है कि किस तरह से ये किया जाए। आपके लिए बड़ा आसान काम है, शायद सबके लिए ना हो, लेकिन सदगुरु
ये सबके लिए है, मेरे लिए नहीं है, ये सबके लिए है।
बिल्कुल।
See, if you want dividend in the stock market,
right,
you need to first invest, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Without investing, if you say, I didn't make any money, what to do? So similarly, without investing anything towards your well-being, if you say, मेरे लिए नहीं, आपके लिए आसान है, कैसे चलेगा ये? सबके लिए है, आसान है,
okay,
करना है ना।
सदगुरु, ये बड़ा आपने काम हाथ में लिया है, रैली फॉर रिवर, और सारे रिवर लेवल्स को ऊपर लाने का, इन्हें प्रिजर्व करने का। इसके बाद नेक्स्ट बड़ा प्रोजेक्ट क्या है?
See, Rally for Rivers for me is not a 30-day flirtation. It's a lifelong love affair. This is going to take many, many years to fulfill. All of it I'm not going to do, it's the governments which will have to do. My fundamental work is upgrading human beings, okay? So that work is not complete. This Rally for Rivers is a small diversion for me. I will anyway be focused on the spiritual work. When I say spiritual, you must understand it's not about looking up or looking down, it is about helping people to turn inward, because everything that you are is happening from within you, isn't it? Your thought, your emotion, your pain, your pleasure, your joy and your misery, everything is happening from within you. If you know how to manage what is within, you would be a wonderful human being every moment of your life. If you and me are wonderful human beings, have we created a wonderful world? For sure, isn't it? That's all it is. That's my work, and that's not going to be over as long as I live.
सदगुरु, जब आप ये अपनी रैली
No, just look at the job security.
जी बिल्कुल। जब आप ये रैली कंप्लीट करेंगे, ये बताएं कि कब आप मानेंगे कि मेरी रैली वाकई में अच्छी सक्सेसफुल हुई है या मेरा मिशन सक्सेसफुल हुआ है? क्या सरकार एक ऐसी पॉलिसी बनाए, इन्हें रिवर्स और पानी को कंजर्व करने के लिए सारी स्टेट गवर्नमेंट साथ में हो, लोग साथ में हो, किस चीज़ को आप मानेंगे कि हाँ ये काम करके मैं एकदम सक्सेसफुल हुआ हूँ?
See, I have lived here long enough to understand…
Not really.
No, no. No, I didn't mean it that way. I have lived here long enough to understand that when you aim for something very big, there will be compromises on the way. So right now my effort is to marry science and politics together for this rally. This rally's intent is fundamentally to marry science and politics. When marriage happens, you know, both people have to compromise a little bit. Maybe one will have to compromise more than the other, we don't know, depending on who is dominant at a particular moment.
Absolutely.
But some compromise has to happen from both. Right now, if you go by science, if you go by what is the best thing for the river, then many people are telling me, experts, you must remove all the dams, you must uproot all the cities along the rivers. Well, this is never going to happen. If you go by the political will of pleasing the people, then their thing is entire country has to be turned into cities and industry and business and works. If that happens, it will be the greatest disaster. So somewhere in between there is a way. So I am looking for that way, somewhere in between where both the parties will be reasonably satisfied, and above all it will lead to the well-being of the nation and the people. So, are we heading that way? Definitely we are heading that way, and many states are openly declaring already.
सतगुरु, आपने इतना मुश्किल काम किया है क्योंकि स्पेशली साउथ में जिन स्टेट से आप आ रहे हैं, पानी को लेकर इतने